Hello everyone, welcome to another lovely episode of JayFx House. And on today's video, we will be focusing on smart money patterns. All right, so thank you all for your lovely comments and all. I really appreciate you. Keep them coming, and we'll do our best to keep giving you some educative content. So on today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys about smart money concepts that you could use in your day-to-day trading to improve your analysis and also help your trading careers. All right. So a lot of people don't understand when it comes to smart money patterns. They don't understand what you mean. All right. So I know you all have seen me teach you guys stuff like this a couple of times, and then we call them smart money patterns. The QM, the breaker block, the other block, stuff like that. But these are actually smart money tools, smart money strategies, smart money methods you could use in the concept. All right. So what we call smart money is the act of taking out liquidity, you know, and then getting the act of trading smart money is getting in on these positions, to accumulate entry opportunities. All right. Swinging the highs and lows which are created after this liquidity is having swapped. All right. So the patterns these guys use when they want to swap liquidities like this are the patterns I'm going to be teaching you guys about. Not this, not this, because I believe most of you already know this. If you don't, there are multiple videos in the playlist or the video sections that could teach you how to actually get entries from stocks like this. These are smart money methods, which you could use in the strategies. But these patterns, which the smart money use, to accumulate liquidity and then, take us out at that last moment before, moving in the original directions are what I'll be teaching you guys to identify today. All right, so let me take this all out. Now, on our first study, the first part, one of the easiest smart money patterns you can understand is the accumulation and the distribution method. All right, this is one of the concepts that was, I think, adopted from the Wyckoff method into smart money and simplified to help you understand how to use it properly. All right, because Wyckoff is a very complex method. All right, but at the same time, it's very educative and very, very useful as well. Because I have studied Wyckoff, and so far I have seen how valuable it is to understand Wyckoff and use the volume tools to understand the movement of price actions and what to expect. But at the same time, one of the most interesting and key focus on Wyckoff is the medium of accumulating and distribution in the market, which helps you also to understand what to expect. And the schematics are the phases helps you to understand what to see, and what to trade for. All right, so it's very good. Wyckoff is very educative for analysis. Wyckoff is also very educative for trading as well, but a little complex than smart money concepts. All right, but at the same time, throughout the years, smart money traders were able to accumulate, some information from the Wyckoff into SMC that has given us some methods that helps us to also use the accumulation and distribution schematic without being that complex. All right, so most of this, you all know our patterns like this. All right, the accumulation happens mostly before an uptrend is expected. All right, and the distribution happen mostly before a downtrend is expected. But at the same time, these method, we can get entries from this are very, very useful for trend, understanding the structure because structure moves like this. But at the same time, is understanding this with accumulation manipulation and distribution helps us to understand that structure moves like this. All right. These little highs and lows, which are created within the range, can be understood and know their next move by just following these patterns. All right. So the smart money have looked into the accumulation manipulation from my study. And as you can see on Wyckoff, we do have what we call the UTAD and what we call the spring. You can go to Google, you can use whichever means. For now, we don't have a video on Wyckoff, which we will in the nearest future. But for now, you can use the Google, you can use whichever method you want to use to study Wyckoff. There's this, last minute spring, after an accumulation is done, that pops up or a distribution is done that pops up to clear out the liquidity at the dying minutes and then moves in the original direction. This spot is called the UTAD, and when this happens on an accumulation, it's called a spoon. All right, now in trading, when it comes to smart money, we understand that there is this concept where when the liquidity has been accumulated, to a certain extent, that level of resistance where we see retail traders are normally looking for a rebound, or a breakthrough. We also expect price to break through that level, and then return back up with the body closing above that resistance level or that liquidity level, to give us um, price delivery in the original direction. Now, these concepts in smart money originally was gotten from the Wyckoff. All right, now this pattern, this Wyckoff accumulation and distribution pattern is now like a smart money pattern, which the smart money institutions use to actually fake traders out. Now, you being able to understand how an accumulation is being formed, or not just that, or seeing a consolidation, you understand that once price is in a tight range, we are expecting some sort of momentum, right? So now those momentum, can be formed in any direction of the trend. Understanding how the accumulation works, knowing that this is an accumulation, can give you that expectation of where you should pay attention to. Because now, if you're in a downtrend or an uptrend, sorry, and you see price accumulating at premium, you're expecting a pullback into discount. All right, this can help you understand that something like this, is very, very possible. All right, so knowing when price is in an accumulation phase or a distribution phase can also help you to identify that POI. All right, now I know some of you might be requesting for videos on how to identify an accumulation and distribution. I will do that when we get to the Wyckoff series, but for now, there are multiple ways you can learn about that as well. I'm just listing out smart money patterns that are easier to understand and are very, very usable on the live chat. All right, now you can see multiple positions where price accumulates. You can see multiple accumulations happening. All right, and then you see that last week taking out those liquidity, all right, which gives you that entry opportunity, to a trend. All right, now all this is also a big accumulation of a higher trend, which you can see price clearing that out over here, and at the same time it forms a structure. All right, so understanding accumulation and distribution helps you to understand what is happening within the range and to give you a more clear blueprint of the smart money expectations. Now on the second on the list, we have support and resistance liquidity. All right, now when we talk about support and resistance liquidity, a lot of people are wondering what we mean by that in smart money, because these are two different methods of trading. But support and resistance is actually an older method of trading in the retails and smart money concept. Now, understanding how to use the support and resistance as liquidity can give you a very big space in understanding where smart money is about to go. Because now we are trying to follow the blueprints of the original smart money traders, which are the institutional traders, and not tell them what to do. Now, knowing what they do is manipulates retail traders to understand that one of their most popular patterns is manipulating key levels like support and resistance. Right now, being able to understand this, being able to put this in a visualized concept can give you that understanding which I'm talking about. So let's go to the charts. All right, so over here we see multiple key levels, where price tested from. You can see one here. These are support and resistance levels, all right? So it does work, based on how, you know the knowledge. All right, but at the same time, on SMC, you can use this as liquidity. All right, now let's say we had this as a POI. All right, so we have price clearing out this liquidity and then reacting from here. All right, now on the lower time frame of this point, which is like a 15-minute time frame, All right, now following what the structure is doing, you can see multiple areas where price, worked out a resistance or a support level, to give you an entry opportunity. All right, there was one over here. This was kind of like a resistance level. And we can see price giving us that push into the clear value gap. All right, at the same time, we had one over here. Right, after giving a bounce of this key level, trapping retail traders, we had a push down into this demand zone, the right price back up. Right now, this is not an entry pattern, all right? This is a smart money pattern. This is a pattern, a confluence you can add to your smart money that could help you understand where to expect an institutional candle or an institutional manipulation. All right, these patterns are supposed to help you identify manipulations in the market so you don't get trapped. All right, now I know you all know how to spot the stop hunts and the break of structures and stuff like that because I've had multiple videos on the sections which I teach, and I have taught you guys about that. And I believe, most of the difficulties I see on the Telegram community is that you guys having a real hard time avoiding the stop points. All right, so patterns like this could help you understand where, you could expect the stop points and where, you should take a trade from or pay close attention to. All right, now you can see multiple times, multiple areas where price can do such patterns. As you can see over here, we had that resistance level where price pulled up into a supply zone, pushing down into the demand POY, giving us that structure movement into a supply again. At the same time, we had this resistance level created over here, and price gave us that liquidity swap of that level and giving us a pullback to clear out this key level as well. So as you can see, structure moves in a way it's understandable, but this smart money do manipulates this structure, in a way we do not know what we're doing. All right. So if you can understand their patterns and how they do these stuff, it will give you a more better leverage and a more better understanding of how to actually beat smart money, in manipulations. Okay. Now, also, we do have a simplified PDF file shared in the Telegram community, which link is in the description about smart money patterns. Basically about this stuff because I had about 4 to 5 patterns you can actually use on PDF file. It's on the description below, and I do not have all those methods listed individually in this video because I'm trying to make the video simplified and as short as possible. So if you find interest in these patterns, you can go ahead and check out the PDF file, and also give me your feedback on what you think about that. All right, so the key level manipulations as one of the patterns which the smart money use to manipulate the market and also stop us out on our entries. Now, we also have manipulation number 3 or pattern number 3, the consolidation. All right, so now we have we do understand impulsive moves and corrective moves. This is a correction, right? So this is an impulsive move. All right, so this is a correction and this is another impulsive move. Now, impulsive moves intend to happen in the direction of the trend. All right. Now, stuff like this and understanding that corrective moves are supposed to be happening, in a correction or a pullback. But at the same time, sometimes we do see volatility in corrections that are not supposed to be there. Now, these can give a little insights to understand that these could be institutional manipulations, and you should be expecting big moves anytime soon. All right, because now consolidations are kind of like accumulations, as I said earlier, and at the same time, we expect manipulations to happen, right? So now imagine you understood that this was a correction, all right? This was a corrective move, and we had an impulsive move from here, and this accumulation was just happening just above, that's discount level. All right, now what you do expect is price to swipe out all these levels, which is now a key level. As you can see how all this knowledge are pulling together, to form one concept, which is called smart money. All right, this is now looking more like, the everyday pattern which you see on smart money, which is more like this. Step down, right? Now, what I'm teaching you here is how to understand where this was formed. Because if you do understand how this was formed or how it was gotten, or the concepts, the logical explanations behind this concept, it will give you that, opportunity to get more knowledge on how to actually use the concept. All right. So if you find interest in this topic and you want to learn more about smart money patterns, you can check out the PDF file or general Telegram community where I do share insights like this on smart money. Okay, so now you understand that this is a correction price action, all right, and you are expecting a pullback into discount. Now, this consolidation, all right, is now at the counter position of that range. Let me give a more clear diagram. Personally, this is one of the ways I use the accumulation manipulation distribution. I don't know how to use YCOP, but I prefer using them like this because it's more simplified. Because all these stuff are actually having a lot of similarities in them, but the logics behind them, the useful logic, can be very, very educative when used properly. Now, I understand that there's a consolidation happening over here. All right, and let's say this was the 4-hour trade. All right, this was the 4-hour time frame, and my POY is way, way below here or at this point. All right, so I'm expecting price to pull back into this level. Now, this consolidation, I understand, is an accumulation, and price is just building up liquidity. And from the lower time frame of this, let's say we had something like this. Which price has now cleared out the liquidity, the buy side liquidity. All right, now we're left with just this on the lower time frame. This can give you an insight to expect, bearishness from this angle. Now, this insight can help you get an entry from this point, a snipe entry, with more understanding of the price action. All right, and at the same time, we understand that Asian sections mostly are used to form consolidations like this. Why? Because of the low, volume and momentum in there. But at the same time, we understand the entry at 50%. That's another topic of its own and another knowledge of its own. But it plays a little role in this because that's also a smart money pattern. All right, that's one of the ways smart money can also liquidate retail traders that you can actually follow. But I hope maybe the teaching is already available in our premium service, but I hope maybe once in a while I could release stuff like this about that to the public. Okay, but there's some methods you can use within the Asian section or a consolidation at the 50% to get an entry from the snap point. Okay, you can test this yourself. You can go find videos about Asian sections. I've not done any of them, but this can be very, very helpful. Not just clearing out liquidity above and below them, but also the entry opportunity at 50% of the Asian range. Right, this alone is enough information for a smart person, to go study the Asian section. All right, now this is enough for today, and I hope you've learned something valuable from this section. Hopefully in the future, on the next video, we will share more insights on smart money concepts and also give you guys some educative tips to keep it going. Do like and subscribe to our videos. You can leave a comment, nice one, anything, to keep the community motivated to do what we do. All right, all our services mostly are free online, and you can get access to them using the description below. Thank you all for watching, and do have a nice day.